getting you your soulmate. So if you think you're ready, come back to this video in a little bit. But if you know you're ready, stay tuned and keep watching. Whoever you are out there watching this video, trust me, it is completely possible. Like, it is 100% possible to find your soulmate. I'm here to share the tips with you that I use. We're going to break this down in about 7 steps. The very first step, which is knowing you're ready. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, if you think you're ready, you should still probably click off of this video and come back at a later time. But if you know you're ready, that is a difference. There are 7.8.9 billion people in the world. And so you, just in a simple fact of being rooted in knowing that you are ready, gives you a 1-step edge and 1 step to being closer to finding, you know, your soulmate. And that's just a simple decision. It's just a simple thought of saying, I am ready to receive my soulmate. I know some of you will be like, but I know I am ready, and I've been ready, and I've been watching, and I've been dating, and I've been, you know, on apps, and I've been looking around. And something in that, though, more says like despair. And like, don't be offended. This isn't a video to offend you or anything. It's just more so when you're doing X, Y, Z, A, B, C plus over and over, and you're kind of like wandering and scattering from place to place, it creates more of this position of lack, this position of like, I'm looking for anybody to settle down with and not my soulmate. One of the reasons why I say knowing that you're ready, even if you're a little shaky on it, just being like, I'm ready, I have an open heart, you know, telling the universe, I'm ready, I have an open heart, I want to receive, I'm ready to receive my soulmate, is 100 times more powerful and more different. This too, you either know or you don't know. Step number 2 is we're going to dig deep on what it is a soulmate looks like to us. So if you take a second, and you can pause this video too after this, you know, piece of advice, just sit in a quiet room with yourself. Close your eyes. Take a couple of really good down to your soul, your solar plexus, your stomach, your root, all the way up. Just take a couple of really good deep breaths. And then ask yourself, what am I looking for? Breathe. Don't automatically think, well, this is, just breathe. And if a thought comes in, let it come in. Because that's probably really one of the true keys of like, what do I really want? What am I looking for? And just let your mind kind of do its thing. Let your body do its thing. And then your next question is going to be, what do I need in a soulmate? You have to remember that sometimes not everything we want is necessarily good for us. Here's what I want in a soulmate, but now what do I need in a soulmate? And then your third question, what would I want to care about in this soulmate? For example, like things that aren't going to irritate you right off the bat, or, you know, things that, you know, you're really going to truly feel like you care about as a characteristic in this person. Fourth question is going to be, what do I want my soulmate to care about in me? And it's different questions. So needs, wants, you know, care about in them, care about in you are all completely different. So what do I want my soulmate to care about in me? Now, this is going to be the most important step. All of these steps are super important, but step number 2 and now this step are the most important. You're going to write it down. You can section your paper off into 4 with those questions from the previous step and start that way. You can just put a pen or a pencil in your hand and start taking off and writing everything that you're going to look for, that you would like, that you need, that you want to care about in a soulmate. You're going to write it all down and don't skip a step. And this is your safe space. This is a safe space for you. Unless you want somebody to, nobody's going to read it. So get everything that you can think of out on paper. And here's why. Because in being able to manifest my soulmate, nobody is perfect. However, there are some things that I look at when I look at Robbie and I go, whew, should have written that one down, or should have made that one clear, or should have made that one plain. Like, when you're manifesting something, you don't want to skip anything. So, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, you don't want to skip it. What are things that you are going to be able to handle and deal with? And what are some things that might be a little too testy for you that you want to maybe switch the wording, and instead of being like, oh, I don't want a person with green eyes. You know, it sounds super, but like seriously write it down, because I did. Instead, you're going to want to write something like, I would love a person who has crystal blue, ocean blue, or auburn brown eyes. Like, don't leave a detail out. And you can always come back and add to your list too. Obviously, that's what I did. Especially, you know, it looks a little bit different from 12-year-old, what you want to manifest, to, for example, 29-year-old, and who I would want to manifest in a soulmate. It's completely different. You didn't miss anything by not writing stuff down at 12 years old. This is for you and now. But make sure you write down everything. Spirituality, what that's going to mean and what that's going to look like for you in a soulmate. Everything. Make it very clear. Try and write it in a sense of positivity. So like I said, don't stress or freak out. You can always come back as things kind of pop into your mind, or you might know it all now and you might write that list down and be like, I'm done. But just leave it open for things that you might want to add, because even if you go through relationships, there might be some things that you wrote down on your list that you experienced in a relationship that you're like, well, not that. And then you can rewrite it. That's what I did. But you can rewrite it. Or there might be something in a relationship that you haven't experienced before. Like, example, opening my car door for me every time I get in and get out of the car, that maybe someone taught you that you didn't have on your list, and you can go and write that down. That is actually a true example. Step number 4 is reflect. So reflection, like, now write down on a different page, or, you know, on the back of that paper that you have, who do you want to be for this person? Who do you want to be for your soulmate? And that can be a little like, well, I wrote all that I wanted down, and you know what I like, but write down what you want to be for this person, and write down all the nitty gritty, you know, everything that comes to mind, everything that you maybe haven't been in the past but would like to be. Like, I would like to be, you know, in a really great space of money for this person. Like, I would like to have my own money when this person comes along. You know, I would like to have 50 grand in savings, you know, when this person comes. I would like to be somebody who wakes up and gets ready every day because I think that's presentable for this person. I would like to be someone who, you know, can listen well whenever this person needs something, or whenever they want to express something or vent. Or I would like to be a good listener for this person. I would like to be a great cook for this person. I would like to be someone who can not freak out or like hold it together in a tense situation for this person. So write out everything that you would like to be, who you want to be, who you see yourself being for this person, while reflecting on, you know, the stuff that you wrote down that you would like to see in this person. And some things may come to mind, like, I would like to be really patient with this person. Oh shoot, okay, let me go back and write, like, I would love for my soulmate to be really patient with me. That's another thing, you know, in writing and like self-reflecting on yourself and like who you want to be. A lot of things can sometimes come up of like, oh shoot, I missed that. Literally, it's limitless. Now, step 5 is now go and be that person that you would like to be for your soulmate. Work on the things that you need to work on to be for this soulmate. Get so rooted in yourself, your self-care, your self-determination, your whole being. You hear it all the time, but it sounds so dumb, but it's like, take yourself to that movie. Take yourself to a movie that you would love your soulmate to really enjoy with you. Take yourself on a date that you would like to take your soulmate on, or you would like to do with your soulmate. Go and do that face routine that you would like your soulmate to enjoy or appreciate that you do for yourself. You know, if you are that person that's like, well, I would like to have 50,000 whatever saved in my savings, go out and make that money, make that 50K, put it in the savings. You know, work on you. Work on becoming the best version of you, what you wrote down. And it's not just for this person, but do it for you. Like, these are things that obviously you would love your soulmate to see about you and, you know, appreciate about you. So do those things and appreciate them yourself. Like, make sure that you can feel what it feels like to be this person, because your soulmate and finding your soulmate is really only about 30% of the entire 100% of finding your soulmate. It doesn't mean being too narcissistic or being too into yourself or being almost even too deeply rooted in yourself that you miss an opportunity to find a soulmate. It's just simply becoming the best version of you that you can, so that you can see when someone maybe does come along finally and you're like, oh shit, you? Me? I've written about you. I've written about me. Does it check? Does it check? Does it check? Yeah. Like, this is it. Like, let's talk. Let's get to know each other. Sometimes it can be a hard part. And so that's why we also want to do step number 5, because that helps us to let it go. So step number 6 is let it go. Lock it away in a diary, or, you know, put it under your pillow at night, or put it in a drawer somewhere, or put it in, I don't know, a pocket of jeans that you know, never really wear. If you are that type of person that wants to read that list every night, you definitely can do so. I did not. I did not read my list every single night, for the simple fact of, like, I'm a worrier and I'm kind of like a nitpicker. So if something comes along and I'm like, oh, that's not necessarily like immediately that's a red flag, and it gets discarded. But one of the main reasons why you want to let it go is because you want to show the universe that you are trusting and you are willing to be open to the idea and understanding that this person is coming. This person will come into your life. This soulmate will come into your life for you. And I'm just going to let it go. And when they appear one day, I'm going to trust and know that that's my soulmate. And that's who I'm meant to be with. And that brings us to our final step, which is step 7. And that is the 80-20 rule. I adore Tyler Perry. I think his art, his craft, his creations are absolutely beautiful and amazing. And one of the things younger that I learned pretty early on was his 80-20 rule. If you have a person that has 80% of what you are looking for, that is golden. You will usually find about 80% of your wants and needs in a person and about 20% of stuff. Everybody's human, so that's where that 20% comes in, is that 20% is ultimately their human. That 20% of the makeup of things maybe you're not getting from that person isn't a means to throw away that soulmate as a whole. It really is more so like, I have 80% of everything that I want and need, and 20% that, you know, we can either work on, or maybe that I don't get my needs out of, but that's 100% of what I'm looking for. And so there's no reason to throw away that person and say there's, you know, I can't. Now, be aware that if that 20% is something that you really can't get over, then that means it's flopped and you're really only getting about 20% of your wants and needs from that person, and 80% is something that you are working at and that you shouldn't need to or have to put all that energy into. Now you're getting 80%, and you can work with that 20% and live with that 20% of that person, you have literally 100% found your soulmate. I hope you guys love this video, enjoy this video. If you got something out of this video, just take it to heart, really let it resonate with you. Anything that didn't resonate with you, let it go. You know what's best for you, and you know what's best in your process. These are just things that I found that really did help serve me when looking for my soulmate and finding my soulmate. And I did go through a couple of trials, but I've only dated like 3 people, like fully, like put all my energy and everything in like 3 people, and by the 3rd one I was able to find Robbie, who I absolutely 100% believe is my soulmate. Please share and hit that like button. Also subscribe for more content like this if you would like that. I love you. Stay positive, and I will see you guys next time.
Couple things I know, couple things I show, couple things I don't. I can tell you my problems, I can tell you my secrets.